In today's video, we're going to discuss all about all of the Rust vehicles and we're going to explain them. We're going to go over sky vehicles, land vehicles, and water vehicles, so let's get started. So the first vehicle we have ourselves is the hot air balloon. Now in order to get a hot air balloon, you can buy this from an Airwolf vendor for 150 scrap. Obviously this is fueled by low grade fuel. This map does spawn randomly anywhere on the map, where it is basically flat. It does spawn with full health, but it will decay quickly if it's left untouched. Next we have ourselves the minicopter. The minicopter can also be bought by an Airwolf vendor for 750 scrap, and is obviously fueled by low grade fuel. And it takes 1800 consumption per hour. This is basically a small helicopter made from scrapped parts, does use 30 low grade fuel per minute, and it can be shot down by turrets. This can be bought at bandit camp or at outpost for 750 scrap. Next we have ourselves the scrap transport heli, which is a better version of the minicopter. It offers 2 seats and an empty rear for large clans to stand on it. It does have bulletproof plates covering both sides to hide and has more health compared to the minicopter. This can be bought for 1250 scrap from Airwolf vendors. This can be found anywhere and it must be bought from the bandit camp. Its consumption per hour is 1800 and its tank capacity is 500. And the final sky vehicle we have is the attack helicopter. The attack helicopter is a player controlled helicopter with also 2 seats and it can be purchased from the bandit camp at the Airwolf vendor for 2250 scrap. It does have a turret on the bottom that can be loaded with a gun and its ammo is controlled by a passenger. You can also use flares that can be deployed by the pilot as well. As for rockets, you can put flares, high velocity, and also incendiary rockets. Its consumption per hour is 1800. Next, let's go over to the land vehicles. First, we'll go over to the motorbike. The motorbike is basically a motorcycle, which can be found at tier 2 monuments such as water treatment and launch sites. It does have 450 low-grade fuel consumption per hour. Next, we have ourselves the sidecar motorbike. Basically, this is a motorbike where you get yourself a passenger next to you, and it has 450 consumption per hour. Next we have ourselves the snowmobile. Snowmobile is a 2-seat vehicle that spawns at the Arctic Research Base, and it has the ability to traverse over rough terrain unlike the modular vehicles. They are pretty fast on snow and sand but will slow down anywhere else. As for low grade fuel, it has 540 consumption per hour. Next we have ourselves the magnet crane. The magnet crane is a drivable crane used to pick up modular and scrap cars that are found across the scrapyard. It cannot be driven out though, as it will take immense damage due to the terrain. It basically picks up a bunch of different vehicles. Its consumption per hour is 1200 low grade fuel. And next we have ourselves the bike. The bike basically is a normal bicycle. There's also the trike, is very similar to the normal bike. And finally we have ourselves the 2, 3, and 4 modular vehicles. Now these are basically vehicles that can house 2, 3, or 4 vehicle modules, as the name implies. It spawns on the roadside with an engine or an engine cockpit module, and often with a random vehicle module. And for this you would need to be able to fix it. And finally we have ourselves the water vehicles. Firstly we have ourselves the motor rowboat. This is a very cheap transport vehicle that can be bought at fishing villages or found near shores. However, obviously these can be only used to navigate in the ocean. You can buy these from boat vendors for 125 scrap. It does require low grade fuel obviously to run, and it can fit 3 passengers and 1 driver, and it does have a small stash in the front for extra storage. Next we have ourselves RHIB, also known as the rigid hull inflatable boat. Now this can be bought for 300 scrap from boat vendors, and obviously it requires low grade fuel to use. Its consumption per hour is 900. This does have a larger storage box, more passenger seats, and a bulletproof glass for the driver's seats. This can also be found as an escape vehicle for the cargo ship. Next we have ourselves the tugboat. The tugboat is the biggest boat that you can drive on Rust. Although it only seats 1 player by default, many more players are able to stand on the boat without getting pushed off. The tug does allow players to get authorized to build like a tool cupboard as the steering wheel, so basically you can make a tugboat your own base. Something else that is mentioned is that it has a lot of HP, being 3000 HP. You can also put doors, locks, and storage. Its consumption per hour is 1188 low grade fuel. Next we have ourselves the Solo and the Duo submarine. The Solo submarine is obviously a 1-seater, and as for the Duo submarine, it is a 2-seater. From this you would be able to shoot torpedoes, which give 430 damage. Its consumption per hour is 540 low grade fuel. And finally we have ourselves the driver propulsion vehicle, which is a personal underwater propulsion device. You would be able to get this from treasure boxes, locked crates, underwater elite crates, scientists, and heavy scientists. You can also craft this by having yourself a workbench level 2, tech trash, and 15 HQM. It's only at 150 HP though, and its consumption per hour is 540 per hour. What this basically is, that it's water scooter that goes only around 21 kilometers per hour. Make sure to check out the RustyRev servers on Rust and the Discord or the link rustyrev.com. And that is basically it for this video. I hope that you guys did learn something. Let me know which is your favorite vehicle, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!